Like me, you're a fan of Game of Thrones, and you have one question: who is going to sit on an Iron Throne at the end of all of this? For this episode, we're going to go ahead and look at the top 5 moments of Game of Thrones and my pops and my thoughts of who's going to be on the throne at the end. Okay, so if you're like me, you're a fan of Game of Thrones, you've been keeping up with it, you binge watched it, or you just been a fan since day uno. You're wondering now who's going to be the last person standing, last man, last woman, whatever. Who's going to be the last one standing? This gives us an excellent chance for me to go through my Game of Thrones collection and go through old clips from the show, and we can go ahead and go through my top 5 choices of who I think is going to be on the throne at the end of this show. You might be surprised with who I have on this list. So come with me. Let's look at some Game of Thrones clips. There's nothing wrong with looking at some clips of this amazing show and look at some pops. Let's see what we got.
Father, I'm guilty. Guilty? Is that what you want to hear?
You admit you poisoned the king?
No. Of that I'm innocent. I'm guilty of a far more monstrous crime. I'm guilty of being a dwarf.
You're not on trial for being a dwarf.
Oh, yes I am. I've been on trial for that my entire life.
Have you nothing to say in your defense?
Nothing but this. I did not do it. I did not kill Joffrey, but I wish that I had. Watching your vicious bastard die gave me more relief than 1,000 lying whores. Murder, and I know I'll get no justice here, so I will let the gods decide my fate. I demand a trial by combat.
Tyrion Lannister. Mr. I drink and I know things. To me, one of my favorite characters of the whole show. He has been through a wide variety of challenges and tribulations throughout the whole series. And he's just one of the funniest guys who provides only comic relief, but just perspective to the whole show. Even though a lot of bad things happened to him, and I mean a lot of, from him being sent to trial for a murder he didn't commit, to losing his love interest, who was a whore, but still his love interest, to his father, to just drinking himself into depression, to being sold into slavery. This man been through a lot, but he's just one of the most likable characters, and I really have an outside chance hope that he somehow falls onto the throne. The Night King. This is the leader of the White Walkers, which essentially is an army of zombies. And he might be the most dangerous person in all of the show because he has unlimited power. Season, he killed the dragon and resurrected it back to life all in one episode. And that's just like, oh man, this dude's for real, for real. He's unrelentless, uncaring, and just has a mean streak where he's just trying to kill everything in his path. And this is the guy. This is the eyes on bad guy. No matter who you are, no matter who you cheer for, you do not want to see this man on the throne.
Now.
Cavalry! Charge!
Jon Snow, aka Aegon Targaryen. And this is pretty much, for most of the show, the protagonist. He's been the main character since halfway through the show's run. And I'm going to go ahead and take an unpopular opinion. I do not want to see this man on the throne. He's not capable or just smart enough to rule. He does a lot of things in the name of honor that have set the show back a lot. The former king of the North, once he bent the knee to his aunt, Daenerys Targaryen, he lost all that. And for what? For what reason? So I can understand why people like him. He's very honorable, like his father. And we saw what that got him. And from season 1, we saw what happened to Ned Stark by being honorable to these enemies. These people are cutthroat, so you can't show them any type of mercy. Jon Snow, he has a very good chance to be the last person on the throne. He is the rightful heir as being the last male Targaryen. So, the last male Targaryen. So he's the rightful heir if you follow that line. But it's Game of Thrones. There's nobody that's rightfully the owner of the throne.
Get back to King's Landing.
I'm not abandoning my army.
You're the commander, not a damn infantryman. Those fuckers are about to swamp us.
We can hold them off.
Daenerys Targaryen, the mother of dragons. And it's for a lot of people, this is their favorite character. She showed some of the most growth through the show. As at the beginning in the first season, she started off as weak and just a princess to be bartered to the Dothraki to turn to ultimately one of the best leaders on the whole show. And she's fierce, ruthless, and kind of like, I won't say she's kind of like Cersei, but she's very to the point. She has one goal and one goal in mind, and that's to regain her throne. Now, for this past, she took a lot of twists and turns, and she had a lot of lovers, and a lot of lovers died. So, in the show, I like her, but you can tell, like in the last 2 seasons, they're shifting her to be a little bit darker. So, I don't know. I can see something really bad happening and her being the cause of it just by her whole obsession with wanting the throne. I love her. I love the dragons. I love all the good stuff. You know, she's the female leader that we want on top of the throne. But something's just not right. It just seems something dark or something evil is going to happen. And bank it. You heard it here first. Cersei Lannister, one of the most dangerous people on the whole show. She is the epitome of revenge, fire, hell that comes behind her. She does not forget anything. If you wrong her, she will murder you. And it's that simple. She will torture you in a wide variety of ways. And her creativity of destruction knows no bounds. Now, if we're just being honest and being realistic, it's quite possible she can be the last one standing on the throne. She's just clever than most on the whole show, and she's just shows no mercy since the very first season. She does not show any care or wherewithal towards her enemies, and she's the type of person that wants to see her enemies destroyed completely. And you could admire those things, but I don't want to see her on the throne. I really don't. I really, 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 really don't, because it's more of the same. So remember, if you enjoyed this episode, like and subscribe. And if there's an episode you haven't seen, check out the previous episodes we have already uploaded. Keep chasing pops.